Hey everybody, what's up? It is Sarah with the Unleashed Beauty. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. In today's video, we are going to talk about something that so many of us will probably find super duper useful right now. We are living in a crazy world. Lots of people are quarantined right now, or at least practicing social distancing, which means that we're not out and about as much as we have been in the past. For me, that means I'm not going to be rocking full glam face all the time. So I want to show you guys what I do on those no makeup days to kind of give myself a little pick-me-up without going full-blown glam. So if that sounds like something you could use right now, stick around because we are about to check out how we did this no makeup look. Already completed my skincare routine and stopped before I apply my moisturizer because I'm going to get started today with a BB cream. So this is Younique's BB Flawless in the color Bisque. And I just like to apply this to the back of my hand and then go in with a damp sponge and apply it to the face. So if you don't know what a BB cream does, there's lots of different BBs and CC creams out there on the market now, and they actually are kind of a tinted moisturizer. They're going to work to even out the skin tone and just kind of correct any redness or other issues that you may be having with your complexion. They are typically a very light coverage. This one's pretty sheer, but I love the hydration that I get from this and the fact that I can kind of balance things out a little bit, and I don't have to worry about my skin looking blotchy or uneven, but I also don't have, you know, a really full coverage, heavy face of makeup on. When you're going for that no makeup look that we're doing today, you want to keep it really light and really dewy and really fresh. Little trick that I like to use with BB cream to make sure that I get the coverage that I want, because although I don't want this full heavy face, I still want to cover up my imperfections. So what I do is I take a little more of that BB cream and a little bit of concealer. So this is Younique's Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer in Organza. This is the shade that matches my foundation. So this is what foundation color I would wear. And then I just mix those two on the back of my hand with my finger. And that's just going to up that coverage a little bit, but you're still going to get the hydration and it's not going to be heavy at all. Once I've got those two mixed, I take my finger, whatever's on there, and I'm just going to dab this on to any areas that I need to cover more. So blemishes, under the eyes where I do want a little more coverage so things are a little bit brighter. I can look a little bit more awake that way. And to the sides of the nose. A lot of people, myself included, can get that hormonal redness on the sides of the nose. So doing something like this to build up a little bit more coverage there definitely won't hurt. Once you have your BB and concealer mix applied where you want it, you can go back in with your sponge and just gently blend that out. So I'm just using that kind of patting motion, pressing that right into the skin. As you can see there, once this is blended out, you do get a little bit more coverage and a little bit more brightness, but it still looks really nice and natural. Now we've got that all blended out, so the next step is going to be to set. I'm going to go in with my Touch Behold setting powder. This is a translucent setting powder from Younique. And I'm just going to lightly set under the eyes and through my T-zone. I don't want to powder down my whole face. I don't want that matte look. I want to stay dewy throughout this no makeup look. If you typically were not wearing makeup and think about, you know, if you walk by and catch yourself in a mirror, you can see a little bit of that natural shine to your skin because you're not applying products that are going to be designed to mattify things. So we want to keep it as if we weren't wearing a thing. So we're just setting the T-zone and under the eyes. The reason for setting under the eyes is so that your product, your foundation, well, in this case, your BB cream, and your concealer don't move. It won't settle so much. It won't crease. And then setting the T-zone, for me, I have combination skin, so I'm typically going to get pretty oily through that T area, and I really want to just make sure that I'm locking things in place there and toning down that oil production a little bit. Now that we have our base complexion down, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. So this is my Beachfront bronzer, again from Younique, in the shade Sunset. This is their lightest shade of bronzer, which is gonna work great for me being so fair. And I'm just going to go ahead and bronze up this face to kind of bring some color and dimension back in. We toned it all down and evened it all out with our first steps, and now we just need to bring a little life back in. I like to start with my cheeks, right in the hollows, and then work up through my temple and out onto my forehead. And just kind of blend as I go. We will come back and do another step with this to really blend things down nicely as soon as we get all of our bronzer applied. Even if you're not doing a full-on contour, something that I like to do is use the matte side of my bronzer and an eyeshadow brush, just any smaller brush, to go in and detail the nose a little bit. Again, this is just going to help bring some dimension to the face so that things don't appear so flat, but you don't want that really precise chiseled contour going on either. It's going to look really unnatural if you throw in a full contour and highlight with this look. And then I'm just going to go back to my fluffy brush. This is actually a blusher brush, but I really like the fact that it's angled and I can get in where I need to with this one. So I'm just using this brush to blend out that bronzer on the nose. And then I'm going to go in one more time and do the jawline and under the chin. Now when you apply bronzer or any contour under that jawline, you want to make sure to blend it down. That'll keep the bottom of your face clean, but you won't have this really harsh line there. It'll be nice and soft and diffused that way. Okay, so once the bronzer's on, I go back to my sponge and I just use whatever product was left on that damp sponge to go over the areas that we bronzed. And that's just kind of going to allow a little bit more product, your foundation, your BB cream, whatever it was that you used for your base face, to blend out over top of your bronzer. You can do this with your blusher too, your highlight, anything. And it's going to give you more of this like glow from within look instead of this I've got bronzer on kind of a look. So again, just with keeping things really natural, this is a trick I like to use. And also, since we did use some setting powder in any areas that we're going back in with the sponge, we're just kind of pressing that setting powder down into our product too, which is going to give just a smoother overall look. I find that that kind of helps with the skin texture. The appearance of skin texture seems a little bit reduced, and you just know that you don't have any extra powder out there floating around. With complexion now finished, I'm gonna move on and do my brows. So brows, I'm gonna keep really simple with this. I'm going in first with just a spoolie and just grooming those brows, kind of training them to lay in the direction they need to go in. And then I'm gonna go in with my brow palette. You guys don't laugh at me, I know. It's time to crack into a new one. She's well used, but this is the Moodstruck Brow Obsession palette from Younique in the shade Brunette. And for this, I use my Brow Artist brush. It's angled on one side, flat on the other, so you just get a really precise application. And I'm going in with the angled side, and I'm going into the lighter powder in this palette. And I'm just going to lightly fill in the brows. I'm not going to really line them out much. I don't want that really defined brow look because I do have natural brows. They're not microbladed or anything like that. So just in keeping them, you know, true to form here for this look, we just go fill them in. You could also use a brow gel for this step if you have a tinted brow gel that you like, and it would serve the same purpose. and also just kind of control those brows a little bit. Once I'm done filling in my brows, I like to go back in with my spoolie and just give them one more quick comb through, and this will help blend out any lines that were left and smooth out that powder a little bit. Now for eyeshadow, we're going back into the bronzer. This is such a great routine. If you're traveling and you don't want to pack a lot of things with you, the no makeup look is the way to go because it really takes very few products. I'm going to grab an eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to put this right into the crease, and the idea isn't to look like I'm wearing eyeshadow. I'm just building a little bit more depth and dimension back into the face after, you know, smoothing everything out with our complexion routine. So just keeping it nice and light and just blending that right through the crease. And since I do have kind of a hooded eye, I go slightly up on to the very bottom part of my brow bone. And then just make sure everything is nice and blended. With this look, I'm actually going to opt for a brown mascara. I know some people are really stuck on their black mascaras, and believe me, I used to be too, but on those days that you really want that natural finish, a brown mascara is a great option. If I had to leave my house with no makeup on, I could only like pick one thing, it would be mascara. I just feel like it makes me look a little bit more awake and alert, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? And I'm a mama, so I need all the help there. Normally with a mascara, I would go in with a couple of coats to really build up those lashes, but for this look, one coat is all it takes. With this look, highlighter is optional. It just kind of depends for me on if I know that I'm leaving my house or if I know that I'm staying home, like how extra I get. So just for the sake of today, I am going to use highlighter so that I can show you guys how I use that sponge to really blend it down and give me a nice natural look. So this is the Glow Sugar Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this highlight. It's one of my favorites. And for today's look, I'm going to go in with Starburst. It's probably my most used highlight out of this whole palette. I'm going to apply it with my finger, which is a little out of the norm for me. But I do feel like if you just apply it with one finger and then use another finger to blend it out, you're going to get a lot softer of a look than if you go in and apply that with a brush. And we don't want a blinding highlight. We just want a little soft glow. So this is a really great way to achieve that. And then you can kind of go back like I just did. If you want to apply a little more, use what's still on that finger, tap it back down, and then use your ring finger again so that you're just getting very gentle pressure and blend it out. I'm going to do a tiny bit on my nose and a little above that Cupid's bow. And again, just to look a little more awake and alert, I'm going to pop some right onto my inner corner and then use a different finger to blend that out so that I'm just getting very, very little highlight actually on the skin. You know what? Let's go ahead and throw a little tiny bit under the brow. Now I'm going to go back to my sponge again, and we're just going to go right over the top of the highlight. I'm not going to do this on my inner corner, but everywhere else that we put that highlighter, I'm just going over it really lightly, really quickly with my sponge. And this just kind of puts a little bit of a veil over top of that bronzer, the blusher, the highlight, whatever you've got on. Okay, I've gone ahead and cleaned off my lips. I cannot stand it when I've got foundation on my lips. I just look crazy that way. I think everybody does, right? So this one is my favorite, you guys. This is my like secret weapon for fighting dry chapped lips. I use this every single night before I go to bed, and I throw this on several times during the day. So this is the Vaseline Lip Therapy Rosy Lips. So this one has a very, very sheer pinky color to it. And I love this on my no makeup days, because it really does give you just the bare minimum amount of color, and it doesn't have a ton of shine to it, so it's not like applying a gloss. To finish this look up, I like to go back in with a setting spray. And so this is my Touch Behold setting spray. And that just kind of locks everything one more time into place so you know it's not going to go anywhere. Plus, as it dries down, it's going to absorb all of the little bits of powder that we had on the skin that may be left behind. And it really leaves this pretty soft, dewy glow. All right, you guys, that is it for our natural, no makeup look. I hope you guys found this one useful. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also share it with your friends. And one more time, if you do not already subscribe to this channel, click that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Be kind to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.